everybody, it's Eva Nattiello here with the 13-week book tour. I'm back. It's 2021, and if you have been here with me from the beginning of the 13-week book tour, you know that this started back in the fall of 2020, and it is designed to share with you the behind the scenes of launching a book and self-publishing a book and everything that goes into the manuscript and getting the manuscript ready and preparing your book for publication and the marketing and the PR, just about everything that you do as an indie author, as an entrepreneur, as an authorpreneur, because you wear many, many different hats when you're an indie author. And so if you've been here from the beginning, you know that I put a pause on launching my book Following You, which is my new psychological suspense, which will be released on February the 2nd. And I'm so excited about that. And I put it on pause, let's see, it was due to launch this fall, and then I changed the launch date to February. And I put a pause on these videos, the Facebook Live videos. And I am so excited to be back. It is 2021, and I am coming at you, 2021. I mean, in a big way. And I don't know about you guys, but I know I said more than a few hundred times, I can't wait for 2020 to be over. I can't wait for 2021 to start. Well, it's here. It's here, and I'm asking you guys, what are you going to do with it? I know I am planning to go big and go bold and attack my goals. And one of them is obviously launching this book Following You on February the 2nd. So what I want to talk about today is the author's journey, among other things, but I want to talk about the author's journey and how, when you sit down to write a book or have an idea and you start writing, how the odds are against you. The odds are against you. The odds are against you to start. I know so many people who say to me, I have this idea for a book, I can't get started. I don't know where to start. I don't know if I should be writing a book. I'm not really a writer. A hundred different excuses, right? The odds are against you to put your butt in the chair, start that book. Now, finishing the book is even harder, of course, right? The odds are against you for finishing that book. It's hard work to finish a book. That is your goal. But there are a million reasons why you may never get to the end, even of the first draft. Publishing the book, the odds are against you for publishing that book. Whether you want to get an agent, whether you want to get a publishing deal, it's hard. Now, I'm not saying all of this to you to be discouraging. I'm saying all of this to you because I'm being realistic, and I want everyone to know, whether this is your first book or your 10th book, this is normal. Recognize that this is going to happen. When you get a setback, recognize the setback and say, hello, setback. I was expecting you, and I don't really have time for you because I have a goal. And my goal is to finish this book and to publish this book. So nice of you to pop in, but see you later. I've got work to do. I'm too busy to get to the end goal. Keeping your eye on the prize, getting to the end. Recognize that there will be setbacks. When I put the book on hold this fall, I was bummed out, okay? That's the truth. I was bummed out that I wasn't going to do it on time. I was bummed out that I might have to make some revisions to my manuscript that I didn't totally wrap my head around or really want to do, honestly. And so I sulked for a little while on that. And what happened finally, thank goodness, is I put on my big girl panties and I said to myself, readjust your thinking. Okay, Eva, take your glasses off. This is a big moment. Readjust your thinking. What are your goals? I had to go back to thinking about my goals as a writer, as an author, as the publisher of this book. You know, there's a lot going on. You have to think of the business side of writing. So in regrouping, looking at all of the goals that I have as an author to entertain, to put out a compelling, interesting story for people to read, but to do it in a really professional way. I readjusted my thinking. I went back to the book. I did what I had to do, and I feel better than ever about it because I feel like I'm in control, you know. I mean, that is ultimately, when you're thinking about being an author, there's so many things you can't control, right? You can't control whether you're going to get the agent, whether you're going to get the publishing deal, but you can control your own writing practice. You can control whether you sit down in the chair and go at it every single day and get better. You can control whether you're constantly learning about writing and about publishing and about marketing. You can control those things. And so that's what ultimately got me back on course, where I said, you know what, I'm controlling this thing. I need to honor myself as a writer and as an author. I have to honor my author journey and get it to the end. And it made me think of The Memory Box, my first book. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a psychological thriller. And it made me think of what I wrote in the acknowledgments. And I'm going to read it for you right now because it's so funny how this is just normal stuff that happens. Like, it will probably happen to me for the rest of my life as an author. Okay. It says, the road to publication is a pothole-filled journey. If you're a writer, you know there are 1 million chances you could hit a bump in the road, fall out of your car, get bruised pretty badly, and decide driving is not for you. Then end up walking everywhere you go for the rest of your life. There are infinite potential detours, red lights that never turn green, drivers who swerve into your lane and crush your car to smithereens. Sometimes you think you'll know where you're going when you set out, only to get lost along the way. Or maybe you simply run out of gas. There are as many opportunities to sabotage your success as there are days in your creative life, or even hours. To not listen to those cynical voices, whether they are external or internal, in order to get to this day, the day your flicker of an idea becomes a book, is close to a miracle. And I wrote that years ago when I was publishing The Memory Box, my first book, when I thought, how did I ever get to the end, get to this point where I have a finished book in my hand? And here I was at it again with book number 2. So my only point is recognize that setbacks are going to happen, acknowledge them for what they are, and then send them on their way and stick with your goals. So that's how I wanted to start this first 2021 Facebook Live session. I have 5 more of these sessions until 4, I think, until I launch Following You. I'm very busy doing marketing right now. The books have been sent out to reviewers, and I'm really excited to get, and scared to death, to get feedback from the reviewers. But so that means that the book is finally finished because I have been changing it up until the very last minute. What else am I doing? I'm sending out newsletters, trying to build my email list, editing the back matter of the memory box. So my first book, I'm actually reformatting. I'm trying to teach myself a few things about that, which is the learning curve for that is huge. I'm not really good at stuff like that, but I'm reformatting the back matter. So now it will have links to the new book, also an excerpt of the new book, because obviously, where is the best place to find readers for your new book? And that's readers of your old book, obviously. So anyone who finishes the memory box, I would like them to have at their fingertips the ability to not only see that there's another book out, but a way to just, in the Kindle version and in the Nook version and the iTunes version, there will be actually live links to the next book. Which I encourage you to do every time you launch a new book. Update your old ones to include new links and also excerpts. So that's what I'm working on. And then the last thing, I got a message from when I posted that I would be back today with the new 2021 week 9 of the 13-week book tour. I don't even know if week 9 is right. My math is totally off, so I hope you're not confused. I got a comment from Joe Glavin, and he wrote, quote, "Eva, more and more you prove you are the real deal. Keep going." And the reason why I'm bringing that up is it made me think of something I say all the time in my marketing workshops to authors who hate marketing or don't want to do it or are allergic to it. And this is what I say: appearances are everything, right? Appearances are everything. Most of the people in the world, most readers in the US or even outside the US, if you're publishing your book and distributing it elsewhere, don't know you, right? They don't know what you're like. They don't know what your habits are. They don't know what you're like as a person. They don't know you. So how do you want to appear to them as an author? How would you like to appear to them? You have to think about that all the time. What you put out is the way they are perceiving you, okay? You can control what you're creating for the world to see as an author, okay? So Joe said to me, "You are the real deal." Well, I am so happy that that is coming across, and that's what you want. You want to control that message from the way your book looks, from the outside, the cover art. Do you look like a pro? Do you have a professionally designed cover? Do you look like a pro on the inside of your book? Have you had it edited? Or do you still have a 500-page manuscript because you couldn't let go of chapters 6, 20, and 47? I know from personal experience, it's incredibly difficult to edit out those special chapters or pages or the words you work so hard at. But think about how you're going to appear to a reader when you have a 500-page manuscript and every other book in your genre is 300 pages. You don't look like a pro. You look like someone who couldn't edit your book. So think about how you're appearing every step of the way on your website, on your retail pages. All of these things are super important because that's how somebody in Idaho who doesn't know you, who doesn't pass you in the grocery store in New Jersey where you live, that's how you're appearing to them, and you get to control that message. So Next week, I'm going to be back at you. I'm going to tell you what's going on with following you, where I am in my process as I wrap up these last few weeks till Pub Day 2/2/21. And the pre-order is going to be, I believe it's January 22nd. And that's when the cover reveal will be. I'm really excited about that. So don't look too closely in my office. I hope I don't have it anywhere around here for you to see. I should have checked that out before, but I'm excited to show you that too. So I'm excited to be back. I want to hear about your goals for 2021. Please leave them in the comments. Let me know what you're working on, what you hope will happen this year for your writing and your writing career and your author journey and where you are on that and where you want to go. And I'm going to be cheering you on. Thanks for coming today, and I'll see you next week. Okay? Bye-bye.